Chelsea Alexa, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a whole wig transformation that's going to start off with the color correction. So as you can see, I have this wig here. It's like this dark burgundy color. I actually got this wig for a steal. I'm not even going to lie to you. I got it for like $65 at like a beauty supply store. This is like the only video I have of me actually wearing it in burgundy. I don't know why I have no videos, but anyways. So yeah, $65, real inexpensive. And honestly, I've bleached this wig like, this is gonna be my third time bleaching it. So I ain't gonna lie, it's doing a little something, something. Like, I'm not mad at it at all. So, it's already layered. I cut this hair when I first got it. I was still in beauty school, so the cut is not the best, but we gonna work with it, okay? So let's just get started. I'm gonna use Matrix Light Master. This is like an amazing lightener. And then I'm gonna mix 30 volume and a little bit of 40 volume. I barely have anything in the 40 volume, which is why I keep on shaking it. But I'm gonna section off the frontal part right now, because frontals I feel like always lift faster than the rest of the hair. So I want to make sure that I'm doing that part last. I'm just gonna clip it away. I completely forgot my foils at my job, so I used my regular foil that I had in my drawer in the kitchen. I'm gonna start off with 2.5 scoops, only because I knew I was low on developer and I didn't want to mix more than I actually needed and waste it. So yeah, that's all I had in the 40, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of the 30 and I'm gonna mix it. I don't have a whisk, girl. I left everything at work, so I'm just using what I have, to be honest. And that's the consistency right now. It's a little runny, but it's gonna get thicker, as you'll see. So a little trick I like to do, I like to put a little lightener on the foil first. That way, when I put the hair on top of it, it'll just kind of stick without me having to like hold on to it for too long. So I do that, and then I just go in like just painting the entire thing. Saturation is gonna be your friend when it comes to lifting hair. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I can't remember how I colored this hair. When I first got it, it was black, and then I put a little bit of highlights in it, and then I bleached it all out, I think, to put this red color on. But like I said, I cannot remember what I did to this wig. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I just used a high developer because I thought maybe it was permanent color and I wanted to get it out. Anyways, so I'm just putting that lightener all over the hair, making sure I'm really getting it everywhere. I'm spreading the hair out left to right, back and forth, just to make sure even the bottom under parts are covered. And then I'm going to just fold that foil right on up and keep it moving. Ideally, I would do more saturation than just that, but I don't have that much lightener, so I gotta do what I can do. And that's how the lightener looked after like 5 minutes. So as you can see, it gets thick pretty fast, so don't worry if it's too runny the first time you do it. So I'm going on to the next section now. I have the foils cut wide enough where I can just like do like a whole section at a time. But you don't want it to be too thick, because if it's too thick, it's gonna be harder to bleach it, and it's going to take longer to get light. If you don't know, I'm a hair color specialist and a natural hair care specialist. I'm a hairstylist by profession, so I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. But even as you can see, I lifted that hair up right there and it was still dark. That's why I have to go left to right, as you see me doing, because you need to make sure all the hair underneath that section is still lifted. Otherwise, when you pull it out, it's just going to be red still, and that's not what I wanted. So I'm checking it again and make sure that it's all lifted, or that it's all saturated, and it is. So I'm just going to make sure to do a little bit extra. Again, saturation isn't the best, but I'm just doing what I can, because when it comes to these wig revamps, I really do not be buying extra stuff. I use whatever I have at home. So I'm adding, I think, 2 more scoops right now and more 30 volume developer, because I don't have any more 40 volume developer, but it's fine, to be honest. And then I'm going to go on to my next section. So yeah, as far as tips for like bleaching hair, especially red hair, you want to make sure that you really get it saturated. You really do thin sections and get that hair, or get that bleach everywhere. Like, I know I speed it up, but I'm really emphasizing how I'm going left to right on the foil to make sure that all the hair underneath is getting lifted, because when I first started doing hair color, I had that problem a lot. So just make sure you're really taking your time to get all the hair saturated, even the top parts. At this point, I feel like I've used like 8 to 9 scoops of lightener, and I keep showing y'all this part because I want y'all to understand just how much product it takes. So when you buy or order wigs to be colored and stuff like that, like, it has to be included in the price, because there's a lot of product we're using. And that's how the first foil looks. I'm not gonna lie to you, like I said, I can't remember if I used permanent color or semi-permanent color when I first did this wig, but that came right on out. So I'm pretty pleased with this lightener. Right now I'm on the frontal section. I'm just making sure that I'm going in between just to make sure that roots are have bleach on them. But I bleached the knots already, so I don't really want to get it on the actual lace, because if you bleach the knots too much, it makes the frontal start shedding a little bit too much. And I ran out of foil, so I was being ghetto when I reused foils. So I'm gonna go ahead now and just pull out the rest of the foils. It lifted pretty well. Like I didn't really wait. As soon as I finished the frontal part, I just started picking out foils in the back. And I mean, it lifted really, really well. For this hair to be so cheap, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's really resilient. Like, and I got it like 2.5 years ago. So I've been wearing this wig for a little while. I'm gonna spray a little bit of water at the very, very ends because they were getting a little bit too light, and I wanted to kind of just slow down that process. But yeah, I'm just gonna pull some more foils. I left the frontal foils to set maybe about 20 more minutes because I think they needed a little more time to get ready. And then I ended up rinsing it with the purple shampoo, the Matrix Brass Off, and then BioSilk shampoo. I mixed those shampoos together and then I rinsed it. And this is how it looked. It's still pretty damp, but I mean, the red's pretty much out. It's a little bit orange, but hair is always kind of orange when you first lift it. The front part is a little bit darker, but I don't mind because it's gonna be darker anyways. So I'm gonna go in now with Kiss Honey Brown and Adore Mocha. There was barely anything in the Adore Mocha, but I wanted to use it because I know it's a little bit of a cooler brown. And then I used the entire a bottle of Kiss Honey Brown. And then I'm just going to mix that together and start applying. So I did want to use the Adore Mocha because I believe it has more cool tones. And the Kiss Honey Brown is really, really warm. But there was barely anything in the Adore Mocha, so I had to just do what I had to do. But I already knew, because I've used honey brown before and I feel like it's more orangey brown than actual brown. So I already knew that once I finished applying this color and rinsing it, I was probably going to do another toner that was just strictly a cool toner. I don't talk about color theory much on here only because it's a little bit complicated, but basically my hair is orange right now and I don't want it to be a warm brown. I want it to be more of a neutral brown. So if you go to color theory, then in order to cancel out orange, you have to use blue. So I needed a more of like a blue-based toner, which you're going to see me apply later on in the video. So right now I'm just applying that color all over. I'm just kind of just slapping it on, to be honest. There's no rhyme or reason. There are some short pieces that you're going to see me coloring right there. A lot of times when you have wigs that are cheap, the vendor will throw in those short pieces right there because it'll make the wig look fuller but not actually make it longer. So if you pay good money for a wig, look out for that kind of thing because they're definitely trying to short you. But yeah, so now I'm going on to the frontal. I'm just going to keep on coloring it. I'm being very careful around the lace because I don't want it to be stained. And I'm just making sure that it's really all over the frontal. I'm making little sections to make sure it's at the root and everything because I know I'm going to have a bang. So the part that's going to be parted off and shown, I want to make sure that it's brown and not orange, basically. So this is how it looked when I first finished applying the color. Even right now you can see that it's kind of warm. And when I say warm, I mean something that has like orange or red undertones. So I'm going to rinse that and condition it with the BioSilk Silk Therapy Conditioner. And then I'm going to tone it again with the good stuff, the professional stuff, Redken 6T, and that's like the little gel that comes with it. This is how it looked when I first rinsed it. Like I said, it looks really, really orange, like barely brown and mostly orange. I'm going to spare y'all watching me put on the new toner because it's the same process. But this is how it looked after I applied it. As you can see, that looks more like a neutral brown as opposed to like an orangey brown. So I'm very pleased with it. So as far as the cut, I knew I wanted a bang, so I took out this little section in the front and then I just straight up cut it. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to put it on my head so I knew where it was gonna fall. And once I figured out where I wanted it, I just took scissors or my shears and I just started cutting like kind of like jagged so it wasn't too like blunt cut. But after I did that, I just wanted to make sure that it wouldn't be too long in my face if I bumped it or anything, and I feel like the length is fine. So I'm going to go ahead now with the rest of the cut. I'm going to like section it off like, it's like if I was on a person, it would be like right behind the ears. That's how I'm trying to section it off right now, because that's the part that's going to be a little shorter than the back. So once I do that, I'm going to do what are called long layers. So So I'm just like taking sections from the back right now. Like I'm doing the middle section first, and then I'm going to lift it all the way up, and I'm just going to cut it that way. That's a way to get layers in your hair and make sure that they're still even. And another thing too is this hair has like shorter pieces at the top that I didn't cut myself. Again, this is a cheap wig, so the frontal was not as long as the rest of the hair. Like there are a lot of problems with it, and I'm okay with that because it's kind of cheap. So I'm just trying to make sure that the top layer is blending in with the bottom and that it's not too big of a discrepancy. So I'm gonna like lift that hair all the way up to the top, and then I'm just going to cut it. That's gonna keep the bottom hair long, but still make sure that it all makes sense in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I kind of just do that all around the head. Like I just do sections like that all around the head to make sure that it's all even and that it's all layered properly. So as far as the front of the hair, I wanted what are called curtain bangs. So I'm going to take the front of the hair and I'm like dragging it all the way to the other side of the head and cutting on an angle. That kind of creates like that layered effect. And that's kind of what curtain bangs are, like bangs that are kind of layered in the front, like almost like face frame bangs, but well, actually no, exactly like face frame bangs. So that's just a way to keep the bottom long but still have it again make sense with the actual haircut. So I'm just going down and cutting it on an angle so that it'll frame my face when I finish styling and things like that. So I have this cheap old leave-in conditioner that I got from Walmart. I'll put it in the description box along with everything else. I'm just gonna spray that, and then I use Cheese Silk Infusion, a little bit of that, and I work it all throughout the hair. And then I'm going to start blow drying. I have a round brush, this cheap old round brush that I got from beauty school. I'm going to use that with my blow dryer, and I'm just going to dry the hair. I liked the round brush for this style because I needed a little bit of body into it. A lot of times when I straighten or when I blow out wigs, I'll just use a paddle brush, but in this case I wanted it to be a little voluminous and have more body to it, so I decided to use the round brush. So for the whole head, for the most part, I brushed like downward, but for the front, I'm blow drying it more towards the front so that it'll lay the way I want it to. And then I really just use my hot comb to like create a middle a little bit. I didn't really want it to be too flat, so I just used to kind of separate the middle and then to like hot comb it forward so it would lay like a bang. And now for the styling, I'm going to take this curling iron and I'm just curling the hair under, like just right underneath. I'm not trying to do it like left or right, just really right under. And then once I do that, I'm setting it on Velcro rollers that I got from Sally's, I want to say. I don't want it to actually be curly. I want it to have like that blowout look. So doing this kind of gives it that blowout effect without actually having to do like a full round brush blowout. So I'm gonna set it on the roller, and then I'm going to clip it with a metal pin because I realized that it was not staying on its own. And I did switch to like wider or larger Velcro rollers so I got closer to the top. And then for styling the front, I'm actually going to curl it upwards. Yeah, so I'm going to curl it upward. It looks a little bit crazy when I first do it, but you got to trust the process because I promise you it's going to come out looking cute. So I do it upwards, and then I take one of those big Velcro rollers and I set it on there as well. But I didn't have to use a clip for it because it's pretty short enough where it just stayed on its own. Then I took this Matrix Stronghold hairspray and I just sprayed the whole thing down, and I let that cool and sit while I finished the rest of my makeup and got ready and stuff like that. So you can see it's not like it's really curly, but it just has like body to it and shape. And then I just took out those top rollers and I looked crazy as hell and I got a little bit scared, so I finished the rest off camera, and here's what we got. Is this not cute? Like, is this not giving you country club? Because that's what it's giving me, personally. I switched back to my room because I felt like the lighting wasn't really giving what it was supposed to give. But yeah, this is how it ended up looking after final styling. When I tell you, when I first put this wig on, I was so scared because I've never done anything close to this ever. So I just did not know how to feel about it. But honestly, I think I'm really feeling it, as you can see. I was constantly playing in it. I like that fact that it looked kind of messy. Like, a lot of times for wigs, I like it to look really sleek and clean, but I like the fact that it looked messy. And now I'm kind of putting the bangs to the side so I can see how it looks that way too, and I really like it. And then I realized it'd be cute as a little bob, so I was feeling it even more. There's one thing about me, I'm gonna wear my wigs till the wheels fall off. So now I know when I'm tired of this, I'm gonna cut it to a bob as well. So yeah, but for now, I'm just gonna enjoy it as the way it looks right now. But yeah, I was feeling it. I don't know, like, it's definitely giving country club. My friend said it's giving Aspen. Like, I need like a fur coat or something, and I agree. But anyways, oh yeah, Miley Cyrus' song was on. Girl, that song's a bop. Anyways, that's the end of the video, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm really like digging this whole like wig transformation video thing, so I'm gonna do it a little bit more. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Bye.